What's up, everyone? Yeah, it's true. My parents got coronavirus. Crazy. They're both down in Australia right now because my dad was shooting a movie down there.
Yeah, that's right. Chet Hanks, the man no one knew was even the son of A-list actor Tom Hanks, well, he revealed to the world that his father has been diagnosed with the coronavirus. That's along with his wife, Rita Wilson. Now, our thoughts and our prayers, they go to them and all of those affected. Now, this whole coronavirus thing, it's mind-blowing. It's one thing to see a number on the news, but then when you hear about celebrities we feel like we know already that they've contracted the virus, well, it brings it a lot closer to home. Which isn't the point. You want to keep this thing as far away from you as possible. From the sporting world to influencers and A-list actors, it seems no one is safe. Now, people, they're going to extreme lengths to make sure that they don't catch the coronavirus. I saw a few videos circulating online. People doing public transportation, they're playing it really safe. Now, the coronavirus has made for some really interesting content online. And for those who just so happen to be coming down with the flu, well, it's really bad timing. They're being treated like lepers and they're being put on quarantine.
It's just an upper respiratory infection and a high fever. It's nothing. I'm working on a
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Get all you motherfuckers! That was my bad.
No matter where you turn, you're going to be hearing a whole lot more about the coronavirus over the next couple weeks. So we decided that we would put a list together of the famous people who have already tested positive.
Thank you very much. We just completed a very good meeting of the Coronavirus Task Force, and they're really doing a great job, our professionals. The results are very good. And when you compare this to what's happening around the world, we're very proud of our people. And there's been a tremendous amount of coordination with states, with cities, and they're a little smaller form of government, and they have things going well. They're coordinating with us, and certain in particular, I think California has been terrific, the relationship. New York has been really good. We've had some really good relationships in terms of especially the hotspots, and we're focused on those hotspots. Some areas we don't have no problem whatsoever, and we hope to keep it that way. Before I turn this over to our great Vice President to provide an update, I just want to express my appreciation for the hard work done by the people behind me and the people back in the various offices, including the fact that I just left the Oval Office, so we have some people there that are probably watching this, or they're just working. We're using the full power of the federal government to defeat the virus, and that's what we've been doing. Last week, we secured an initial $8.3 billion from Congress for the coronavirus, and that was quickly done and very efficiently done. I want to thank all members of Congress. Yesterday, I declared a national emergency, which was a very big deal because it opened up avenues that we would never be able to open up without it, and it will make more than $50 billion available to us immediately in disaster relief funds, and that's available for states, territories, and local governments. So that was really, really good. We also reached an agreement yesterday on a new legislative package that will provide strong support for American families and communities in dealing with the coronavirus. So it was done very, very bipartisan. It was very nice to see it. Probably the cooperation. I want to thank Secretary of Treasury, Steve Mnuchin, who did a fantastic job and worked with Nancy Pelosi and their representatives, and it was really great. It worked out very well, and a lot of people are benefiting by it. A lot of provisions in the bill, which they're going to be discussing with you today, and they're tremendous provisions. So that's something that we should talk about. I was honored to see that the stock market, you were mostly there with us, set a record in a short period of time, over a 45-minute period, that we had the press conference yesterday in the Rose Garden. That was a record. All-time record. I think we should do one of them every day, perhaps. How about 5 times a day? We'll do one 5 times a day.
The Council on the state of preparedness for the trending problem of coronavirus and also the endemic Lassa fever in Nigeria, the state of preparedness of the front line, which is the port health services, and then the second line of defense, which is the Nigeria Center for Disease Control. The preparedness mostly at the airports, the international airports, which are the main points of entry into the country: Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and Kano. And also on the fact that all patients arriving in Nigeria are screened and the temperature taken.
No patients.
Sorry, all passengers. When doctors speak, you still notice. That all passengers arriving are screened by a passive camera that takes your temperature and also looks at your travel history to be able to find out where you are coming from and what risk you may be carrying. Everybody who is arriving, who is coming from that area, is given a form to fill, and then the form contains a number, and we also take that number and they contact us to let them know if within the 14 days of the incubation period they have any symptoms or not. And if we don't hear from them, we call them and find out if they're okay within those 14 days. It is instructive to know that there is no case of coronavirus in Nigeria, and there is no case, in fact, reported in Africa. Of the Lassa fever, there has been quite a few incidents that have taken place since this year began, and but the treatment has improved, the reporting has also improved, it's much earlier, and the case fatality rate has dropped to about 15% now. It used to be, a couple of years ago, it used to be 30%. Yes, since about 8 days ago, we obtained the reagents necessary. The machines, we have the machines, they are PCR machines, they are called polymerase chain reaction machines, which we have here for molecular diagnostics. But we didn't have the reagent because for every pathogen, you have a specific reagent that's more used to detect it. And that one for coronavirus, being a new disease, was not very much available, but we acquired it about 8 days ago. And now 3 laboratories in Nigeria can test coronavirus. And in fact, they have tested 2 cases already, which were negative: Lagos, Abuja, and Irwa. Irwa, as you know, is the Nigeria Center of Excellence for this viral hemorrhagic fever, which is a category to which corona and virus and the Lassa fever belongs particularly. Second question is about why not in Africa. Well, for a disease to enter a place, somebody must carry it. That's the person who is bringing that disease. Or an animal might carry it, like a rat or a mosquito. You know, mosquitoes carry malaria, and rats are the ones that carry Lassa fever. As far as corona is concerned, it is human-to-human transmission. Maybe we have been lucky that no person carrying that corona has entered our country, and none has come here undetected. We are also particularly happy that the Chinese government is now conducting what they call exit screening. Not only do they screen those who are entering their country, they screen those who are leaving, so that if they themselves see any person.
There's so many extraordinary things that are happening right now that people don't really give them enough thought and consideration, because Muslims are people that read signs. We're people that read signs. Our book is a book of signs. It's a book of ayat. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives His prophets ayat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He sent وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا مُوسَى بِآيَاتِنَا, we sent Musa with our signs. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to read the signs. اقرأ بِسْمِ رَبِّكَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ. To read. It wasn't simply just the reading of a book, but the book of signs, which is in the universe as well. And natural disasters have always been a source of trouble. You see corruption in unbelievable, unprecedented manners, things that really we haven't seen at this level. And this is a global phenomenon. It's happening all over the globe, and it's something that should cause people of intelligence, it should cause them consternation, it should cause them trouble in their hearts, because these are people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about them that وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مُشْفِقُونَ مِنْهَا وَيَعْلَمُونَ أَنَّهَا الْحَقِّ. that the people who believe are concerned about the signs of the hour, the signs of the last days. They're concerned about it and they know that it's true from their Lord. The Prophet ﷺ in a hadith, which is one of the most extraordinary in terms of purely prophetic vision, is one of the most extraordinary hadiths that we have in the literature that Ibn Abi Shaybah relates, in which the Prophet ﷺ said, إِذَا رَأَيْتَ مَكَّةَ بُعِجَتْ كَظَائِمًا. When you see Mecca, the Prophet ﷺ predicted that holes would be drilled through the mountains of Mecca, and he says, وَيَعْلُو بِنَاؤُهَا رُؤُوسَ الْجِبَالِ فَقَدْ أَضَلَّتَ السَّاعَةُ. And you see the buildings of Mecca reaching the level of mountains. You see the buildings of Mecca reaching the levels of mountains. He said, know that the shade of the hour has encompassed the planet. And the believers, when they see these things, it concerns them. The Prophet said, لا تقوم الساعة حتى تزول الجبال عن أماكنها. The end of time won't come until you see mountains removed from their places. When I was in Mecca, there's mountains have been removed from Mecca. Quwa'iqan, one of the mountains that's known as the Ahad al-Akhshabain. When the angels came to the Prophet ﷺ and they asked him if he wanted to see the mountains, that they would يطبقهما على Quraysh. One of them was Abi Qubays and the other was Quwa'iqan. Quwa'iqan has been removed. It's gone. It's no longer there. The mountain is gone. A mountain that the Prophet ﷺ walked in its shade. A mountain that the Prophet ﷺ probably climbed as a boy. This mountain is now removed. The Prophet ﷺ said, لا تقوم الساعة حتى يتهارج الناس تهارج الحمير. That the end of time won't come until people are like animals openly. I was on the Arabian Peninsula with my family, walking on the beach, and I came upon people in a public beach having sexual intercourse. In a public beach on the Arabian